Hello, Stoney fam. Happy Thursday. I'm back again with another episode for you guys. I thought we could go back to where we just left off and kind of continue because I have a few more things that I want to share, some insight and maybe some like tips and helpful things to knowledge that I could share maybe with you guys. So kind of just want to share a little bit more of that stuff. And I apologize about that noise just then. I've now since turned my ringer off, so that won't be happening again. No more interruptions. So I really just, when it comes to any creative idea that I have, whether it be like the whole thing as a whole, or it's like even a piece by piece, or just a piece at a time, whatever it is that I'm thinking about and I want to do, even if I'm starting to like think about it and I'm like, well, maybe this is a bad idea, I don't think I should even try it, like screw that, like not worth my time. Sometimes those ideas are worth your time and you should just invest in just testing it out and seeing what happens with it. You never know, and maybe it is going to be good content that you might find purpose in, and if it's not, then you can find something else to do with it or nothing at all. I mean, it's not really too much time wasted. In my eyes, I feel like it's never a waste if you're trying to create something and make your vision come to life. I think that's really fun, and if you can do it, why not try to? I've also found that trying to make your stuff more relatable is very helpful as well, like to whatever niche you're in, or if you don't even have a niche, just relatable in general to whatever audience you're trying to gather. And, you know, you kind of want to just stick to something that people can relate to. Not everything that you create, obviously, but it does help to try to think about that and do that when you're creating things too, because not everybody is going to resonate with what you're creating, but if you try to make it so that people can resonate and understand it and feel the same thing as you are with what you're creating, and they'll maybe see the same vision as what you're trying to put out there, that's also really fun too. But it doesn't always necessarily have to be relatable to anybody else but you. It's your platform, it's your art, it's what you want to do with it. So that's just a thought. Also, being patient is quite important as well. Like if you're just starting whatever you're starting on, you're not going to find your group, your community, or a following of any sort right away. If you do, like, it's very rarely. And if you do, you just kind of I feel like you're lucky, you know, you made a good post, you did something that's very much worth getting those eyes drawn onto it, of course, but it's not like you've done it for a long time at that point yet. Like, you just got this going. So either way, it's a positive thing. If it happens quicker than it takes somebody else, cool, but it doesn't make your time that it takes for you to build your page, it doesn't make yours any less than anybody else that has, you know, a much bigger platform going. Like, for example, for myself, I would say I fit very much in with, like, the cannabis community, especially. Like, that's my calling. That's who I resonate with completely. That's a lot of my personality. Not that cannabis is my personality, but, like, that does bring out my personality when I use cannabis, and I feel like it brings out the best forms of it. So, yeah, I do find that canna content has been something I heavily rely on producing and enjoy creating and very much enjoy consuming. So that's something that I've found is like my, I guess, niche. It's usually revolving something to do with cannabis. Not every time, but most of the time. And like I was saying before, if you've created something and you did take time on it, but you're not really sure if you like it or not, and you're really kind of leaning more on the I don't want to post this, like as a post, you could always just make it like a story or put it on something else, you know, a different platform that you think it might do better on, because everything that you're using is different. Like, the algorithms are different. They're not all the same. So you really could just try it out somewhere else, or just post it somewhere else so that you can go back and look at it. I most of the time I'm doing that because I like to just reminisce and look at my old content as well. Like, I'll go back and look through it. So, and it's just easier than having it all stored on my phone and just taking up a bunch of space. And then, like, it is stored on my backup drive in my computer as well, but I don't really find that I'm sitting on my computer going through all my pictures and my videos. Like, it's just, I don't do that very often. Unless I'm editing something or trying to organize, I don't really see myself sitting on my computer. I'm not always on my computer. Or even home. Like, the phone, I'm obviously have a lot more access to, and I can use it anywhere. So I kind of find myself trying to do more stuff from my phone than I am on my computer, but I do use that to edit and also save a lot of my stuff. And that's another thing I will mention. I highly, highly, highly recommend getting a backup hard drive, like a external drive, not a hard drive, just because it's super handy, like all of your files from your phone. You just got to drag it to your computer, drag it from there, and put it right onto this drive. And you don't have to even clog up your computer with that space. You can take it off of it, or you could leave it there and your backup drive. I find, like, in case of any emergency, like, you never have to worry about losing all of your stuff. Whether it be your videos, your pictures, your notes, whatever. All of that stuff, your fucking porn, whatever. I don't know. None of those things should be missing if you already backed them up and saved them. I don't like using, like, a cloud system. I've always been paranoid that it could be hacked anyway, so I don't like it. And it takes forever to upload my videos, and I have to, like, pay for extra storage for that. Fuck that. I think it was about, like, $80 or something for the drive that I got, but it's cool. And I covered it with stickers, so it's really tiny, cute. You just plug it right in, take it out. It's super easy to use. I highly recommend using that for your extra storage that you want to keep. And so your phone also has a good amount of storage. I mean, even if you have a good amount of storage, like, I don't know if you're like me, but it gets taken up very quickly. It doesn't matter how much I have on my phone. I will use it all. It will be all gone. It's like me when there's a bag of Reese's cups in front of me. Like, they're going to be gone that day. I always tell myself, I can just eat one here and there and I'll be able to keep it for the next couple days. Nope. I end up eating a fistful of Reese's that whole night, and then they're all gone. And then I'm sad because I have no more Reese's. So that's what I would do if I had no other storage. I would just be clogging up my phone. And I think the last thing that the last thing that I would share that has been very helpful for me over the years and kind of helping to get myself to feel more confident with myself is to just put myself out there. And even if something's a little bit scary, or I'll feel kind of insecure about myself at that time, maybe not the exact moment I posted it, but maybe afterward I'm like, oh, why did I post this? Like, I hate myself. I look terrible. It's a lot of it is going to be just in your head. Like, it's not every single person is looking at that and saying what you're thinking in your head. It's a lot of just negativity that we carry in ourselves sometimes. If you struggle with that, then you'll understand. If you don't, then I'm good, happy for you. I'm glad that you don't, because it sucks. But there are times that I feel very less confident with myself, or I just don't like what I'm trying to do. I just don't like it. And I'll try to just realize, like, this is just my head right now, and you should just try and see what happens, and you'll be surprised that it was a lot of time just fears in your own head. And maybe even you'll feel better about posting it, or not, even if you don't want to post something, you never have to if you don't feel comfortable doing so. I would also say that, like, never put stuff out there that you're not that comfortable with being shared with people to see, or feel obligated to have to just change who you are as a person to fit in with anything, because I think we're all very amazing individuals all on our own, and we don't need to be like anybody else besides who we are. So just remember all those things, like being, original and creative, like all the things that you enjoy doing about this. Like, remember those things and just stay true to yourself, and then all the other things will come with that. By that, I mean, like, you'll feel good about what you're making. You'll feel like your vision is being understood, either by other people or mostly by yourself, or both. I feel like it's really a nice release for me to create art, and I make that in all types of forms, and I think a lot of us do, and we might not even realize, like, we create things every day, and that's something that drives me, is making art. And yeah, so those are some tips I wanted to share with you guys. I don't feel like they're, extremely that much super helpful, but I feel like they can be helpful if these are things that you didn't really think about. I think it's always good to keep an open mind perspective and take in any knowledge that could be helpful to what I like to do. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys, because I do get asked sometimes, like, how do you do this? How did you do that? And I would rather just explain it, more than just having to keep explaining it, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't mind answering people's questions, ever. Definitely don't. But I think it'd be just a lot easier to have it all explained into one place so that I can just pull that back up and never feel like I'm leaving anything out for anybody, because that sometimes makes me feel bad or annoyed with myself. Like, how could I forget to mention this or whatever? I think those things are really helpful. So, yeah, guys, that's what I wanted to share with you. I've been really, really busy this week. Side note, like, update about myself, my life. I had just got home from being out all day. I had a shoot that I had to do. It was a very fun time at the same time, but very stressful, because it was very, very hot, and I had a wig on my head, and it was super, super hot at points, but I got lucky, and then big, big gusts of wind were coming, so it was very breezy and, like, nice. Like, it's just really started to transition into, like, a really nice day versus, like, a super hot, scoldering day, because it started like that. And my day didn't start off that great, because when I received certain stuff in the mail, I keep getting my stuff, like, looking like it's been sat on or stomped on. So I was really really diminished when I picked up my package. And I was like, oh, great, somebody did this again. Or something keeps happening. I'm not sure, but it kind of just put me in a poop mood. But rest of the day, pulled through. I had a really good time. But I've just been finding myself being kept to be really busy. And so that's why whenever I put out episodes of this now, it's not as frequent as it was when I first started a couple years ago. But I'm still doing it, and I like to do this. So if you guys like to listen and you like to sesh together, cool. Thank you guys for being here. I love you guys. And I'm going to end this on a high note, literally. Cheers, Stoney fam.